Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.
What's going on, Aquarius? This is Boss Roll with your reading for the month of September. All right, guys, if you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Let's get started with your reading. So I'll just pull your energy, guys. We're going to start with that from the Pocket Animal Spirit deck here. We're going to later clarify from the What's the News Tarot deck. We're going to pull from the regular Tarot deck as well. Then we're going to end it on some Hard Truth Oracle deck here, just to get some more clarity. So let's get started. So I'll pull for you the Panther, Scorpion, got the Hyena here, and the Unicorn. All right. So you guys are in a space right now where you're probably like in a dating type of phase where you're meeting different people and you're looking at them and you're like, okay, I'm letting this person talk and I'm letting this person really, lead with how they go about their day to day. Okay. You're looking at, different personality types that are approaching your way. You're seeing that they're still holding on to the past. Okay. These individuals could have a lot of, hurt still online when it comes down to dealing with situations, a lot of pain that they're not really processing, and it's becoming very erratic when it comes down to expressing their emotion. Okay, and you guys are just playing it cool. Okay, you guys can be in a space where you're playing it cool. You're just sort of just observing from just a casual type lens, and you're making this person feel at ease. Okay, because you guys already had that inner wisdom when it comes down to really understanding yourself, and also bringing that sense of calmness towards other people. And these people are just letting things hang out a little bit too soon. Okay, one thing about you guys are very intellectual when it comes down to with people in your environment. You like for a lot of people that you date and even interactive friendships to have sort of a steady emotional grid. Okay, it's nothing wrong with emotions, Aquarius. Like I said before, you guys don't have any ill will when it comes down to emotions. You're looking for a space right now in your life for someone to have some emotional maturity. Okay, and this is a little bit too intense for you. Okay, this could also be family dynamics as well, where you're just seeing that a lot of people in your family environment are more so reactive, and you just don't sort of know how to place them in a certain type of way. Okay, you're seeing that over time that even if this is a partnership, this could not work out. Okay, you guys could be in a space where you're like, I'm not wasting any time. I may be very cordial to someone while I'm having drinks. So I'm, like I said before, I'm in a venue. I keep it really nice. Okay, the hyena could laugh some things off, but you're not taking a blind type of eye or a blind type of way as far as saying, what, I'm gonna do nothing when I see a lot of crazy things on, when it comes down to these interactions. Okay, it could have been some red flags going on as well when someone was you could have just been talking about, just different type of views that you have, and this person gets really reactive, when it comes down to hearing some of your thought processes, and you're like, this is already putting me in defense mode. Okay, you guys could be put in a very strong defense mode when it comes down to really expressing yourself, and you're like, okay, as adults we don't have to get along, we can have different opinions, but it doesn't have to go on this particular level. Okay, and I believe that this person just has a controlling type of nature, and of course, like I said before, this could be a family member as well, where they still look at you, Aquarius, like, okay, you're not as wise, or you're in a, if it's from a family dynamic, it's like, okay, well, you're still the young Aquarius that I knew in the past. So they try to sort of get you to submit in a situation where it's like, okay, you know what? If I sort of raise my voice or react in a negative type of way, Aquarius is going to get back into the pattern that I'm used to them being in. And you're like, I'm not trying to go back to any type of toxic pattern. If we can't get along, guess what? We just keep pushing. And you're just basically, looking for someone to really match you on a spiritual type of level to Aquarius, and to have that type of mental, stimulation. Okay. You guys are more so to get to that romantic type of level, you have to be mentally stimulated. And I believe that, this person, they have a lot of passion and a lot of could be very creative as well. But like you're just seeing that, okay, you know what, this person probably would not sort of work for me for anything serious. Okay. Like I said, you're seeing that this individual is really telling you details about, their personal lives, their past dating history, where it's like it's turning you off. Okay, their mouth is going, and they don't know how to have boundaries when it comes to their communication. Okay, and even when you're talking to somebody, you're getting to know someone, it's still important to have communication and boundaries in place. When you're sort of like conversing, because if you're talking to someone that's still in the new phases, okay, especially when you're dealing with an Aquarius, you don't want they look at that. Okay. Aquarius look at that all the time where it's like, okay, what, kind of sort of over identifying yourself, and anything, like I said before, that sort of has you guys sort of triggered to seeing that this person, okay, is sort of chaotic. You have your own personal boundaries, and you're sort of like, in a way, you're sort of checking the behavior from a joking perspective, okay? But you being 100% serious, okay? Some of you guys can tell this person, hey, you know what? It doesn't seem like you over your ex. It doesn't seem like you're over a lot of past hurts. Or like maybe this person went through a job scenario. Maybe you need to focus on, dealing with, some of the healing that you have from a past job. You're not done healing. And you could have said it like, being really upbeat, or being in a way where it's like you had that joking type of nature, but you're serious about the situation, because you're like, I'm not jeopardizing my personal growth. And I think, coming from this unicorn perspective, you guys are already aware of yourself. You're already aware of your personal growth. You're aware as far as how things, what you want things to play out when it comes down to your personal dynamics. And, you're seeing that this person doesn't really have what it takes for an interpersonal relationship with you. Okay. I'm going to pull from the What's the News deck over here, and we're just going to go from there. Let's see. Going to pull some cards on clarity. Let's see. Fuego. All right. Reading up. Macho. Okay. And then we got the wine and dine in reverse. Okay. I'm going to pull one more card. Recalling. Okay, cool. Like we're going to end right there. And then we're going to pull some things from the tarot deck as well. Let's see here. Okay, we got the Two of Cups. We got the Nine of Wands. Okay, this person's not really healed. So it's looking like Aquarius. We got the Queen of Wands. Okay. The Nine of Swords. We got the Tower card. Okay, cool. Let's see. We got some clarity right there. So Fuego, chemistry, intense passion. Things are heating up. Reading up, doing the research, learning more, gaining insight. Okay. Got the macho, masculine, pride, toxic masculinity. Manly man over here. So we got let's see, wine and dine in reverse, courtship, dating, romance, passion, but that came out in the reverse. And then we got let's see, recalling memories, missing someone, reminiscing. Okay, this person is really out here, they're trying to get into another relationship. They could be like a serial monogamous. Okay, they don't really go about the healing type of work because they had this macho type of behavior. Okay, this is just energy. Okay, this could be, like I said, male or female, but like I'm just reading it from like the card perspective. They don't really deal with a lot of healing. Okay, like I said, they sort of go from relationship to relationship, and you are peeping this person out. Okay, like I said, you have that wisdom. That unicorn has that wisdom and that understanding. Okay, to understand that okay, this person is basically looking for you to heal the situation. Okay, and you're seeing that. Okay, so you're getting that intense type of energy because this person doesn't really know how to process their emotions, don't know how to really process their emotional growth, or knowing how to interact in a dating environment. Okay, they just want to sort of like they're out here, they're good with spending money. Okay, they think the wine and the good meal and everything else is going to bring about a great type of time or a positive type of interaction, but they're stuck while they're winding and down, and they're stuck on recalling past things. Okay, infidelity. Okay, it could have been like poor communication in the relationship. Okay, and this person you're sort of seeing had a lot of things in on their plate when they brought to the relationship that was a lot, that was really, really negative, and they didn't really go about really identifying some of the things that they did in the relationship. Okay, and I always think it's a very red flag thing when someone can just go on a whole tangent about, what somebody else did in the interaction without looking at the accountability, what they allowed in a relationship, even if, they weren't even if they weren't at fault, still looking as far as saying, okay, why did I tolerate this behavior? Okay. Because both sides play a part of it. Okay. And this person just really, they're taking this victim seat, and you're just not really having this person go into a victim mentality. Okay. No matter how they want to have this Two of Cups perspective with you, okay, you're seeing that this will cause a headache later on in time because you're fighting a past battle with people who are not even in the room. Okay. This person could really be talking about individuals who they talked to like years ago. It could have been like, a past relationship where they should have really dealt with the healing process. They're talking about like it's from yesterday. Okay. You're probably sitting on the sofa saying, like, okay, when did that happen? Was that recently? They said, no, it's been 5 years. And you're like, okay, macho, I'm saying you need to probably go to therapy to see what's going on and get some healing. Because if you're talking about a situation like it's been yesterday or like the day before, or, like I said, I'm saying day before, that is yesterday, something that's fresh, like it's a fresh wound. And like I said, we all been in places we all have heard or went through situations. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to say that people can't express their emotional feelings. But what you're saying here, Aquarius, what you're looking at here is if you're not able to look at that past, okay, and identify some things and say, okay, you know what, I'm just not going to tolerate this behavior. I learned from this lesson. I learned from, the past experience. Okay, well, you're still thinking about, that this is still causing a lot of emotional upheaval in my life, and you're still holding on. You see how she's gripping that stick? You're still holding on to those past offenses. It's just not a healthy place, okay? Because you're already in the Queen of Wands energy, okay? You're intuitive. You have that knowledge. You have that inner knowledge knowing that, okay, what I'm going to tolerate, what I'm not going to tolerate, okay? And you're like, just because someone has went through that past type of trial, you have that understanding, you have that knowledge, but you're able to, take your pain, take your, issues that you dealt with in the past and still go about, having that laugh and having that smile on your face like this, like hyena energy, okay? Queen of Wands is all about, just like I said, embracing the now. Like I said, it's that forward thinking, and you're seeing that this person is still stuck in the grieving type of sense, okay? And one thing about it is, Aquarius, you're still having that, that knowing and that love with this person to say, having that, I want to say brotherly love, okay? Saying sisterly love with this person, whoever's watching, to say, okay, things are okay, but sometimes healing is what's essential, and maybe this is not the time for us to venture into this direction. Okay, I think you're really trying to save face, Aquarius, with this person, because you're like, I'm not going to invest in someone who is not in a place where they're capable of investing in a relationship with me. Okay, like I said, this person is in this 9 of Swords. Okay. And sometimes, like I said before, therapy is needed. Okay, when it comes down to processing things, especially with trauma, this person could have went through a lot of a trauma situation where the healing just sort of like got, very delayed because they thought that they could sort of fix it on this macho energy. Okay, they bring it to the table. Okay, and what it's doing is it's blocking out their blessing because they're running into a lot of tired situations. Okay, as people are able to identify what's going on or what's wrong in the situation, they're seeing that, hey, this person is just not ready to take those proper steps. Okay, let's look at the hard truth deck here. Let's see what's going to come out for you guys for the month of September. What's some wisdom that you need to know right now? Irresponsible. And we have procrastination. Okay, dreading the responsibilities that come with achievement is sabotaging your progress. Confront your fear and start welcoming the potential for success. And I think that's what the thing is right here. Irresponsible. This person cannot have a mindset where they feel that, going into a relationship not healed is going to bring some type of positivity. It's not. It's not. And they're taking that procrastination really in that situation from healing. I think it's like I said, they feel controlled and more at ease where there's drama or a lot of tension that's going on in their life. Procrastination, delaying important tasks can lead to missed opportunities and increased stress. Choose not to feed into the cycle by accomplishing small tasks every day. Okay. And that's even, I'm talking about that on an emotional level. Okay, guys, because like I said before, so many times when you're sort of avoiding a lot of that emotional growth or that emotional healing, you put yourself in this time perspective. Okay, you miss out on opportunities, you miss out on potential love relationships that could have been, that coulda, woulda, shoulda happened. But when you're sort of like stuck in that past, and you're still in that tower and still looking at that destruction. You can't look at you can't be in a space where you're open to a two of cup situation. Okay, and this person has to really, really, really take the responsibility. Okay, have that responsibility to say, you know what, I need to do this for me. Okay, and like I said, I need to go about understanding why I picked this person, why I was intertwined with this individual, because this is not caused me to be in a healthy space. Okay, because like I said, they enjoyed your company, Aquarius, but anytime they had that that moment when they're like having that that moment to themselves, or like that place in their mindset with communication, and it's supposed to be about tell me about yourself, tell me about your thought process. It drifts back to the past, and that's just not a healthy place. Okay, so this is what you guys are really telling this person. You're being, like I said before, you're having that humor in a situation. You're not taking anything in a harsh type of way. You're not being rude in the situation, but you just had that understanding to say, okay, you know what, this can't go further than what it is. Okay. All right, Aquarius, this is your reading for the month of September. If you guys like this reading, please like, share, subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.